Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Capricorn placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Capricorn, I'm getting kind of this energy. So first of all, there's like a Sagittarius or ninth house energy kind of coming through of like exploring some sort of new culture or idea or philosophy or way of being or something like that. So perhaps you're on this journey of like learning or exploring something new. It could be like a culture or like it's associated with like a particular geographical location or something like that, or a group of people that is different than what you are. Like it kind of feels like something like that. Exploring a different culture, Capricorn. It doesn't have to be like race or language or anything like that. Just take it how it resonates, Capricorn. But I'm getting a very strong Sagittarius kind of energy. And I'm also getting that there may be something about that where it's maybe what was coming through is that it's giving you what you need, Capricorn, but it may not be what you want at the moment. So it's kind of feeling like maybe there's some sort of dream that you have, but in order to get there, you have to get something else that you need. It's not the dream, but it's a step to getting there. That's how it's coming through. Because I'm kind of seeing from this archetype deck, like the underworld and the gem cards, where the underworld is this place where perhaps you have to face some fears or shadows or something like that. But there is a gem there, because the gem is a card where it talks about like you find the gem in the place that is opposite to it, right? Like the diamond in the rough. So it kind of feels like you're going to the underworld energy, whatever that represents to you. It's just something that perhaps causes fear or brings up shadowy energies or that kind of thing. There's a situation like that maybe, but in order to get the gem or like the next thing that you need on your journey or whatever, you have to go into the underworld. Otherwise you won't find the gem. That's how it's coming through, Capricorn. So that's how it's feeling. Something that you need, but maybe not what you want. So I'm going to pull one card from this Starcodes Astro deck, just as sort of like an overall energy, because I feel like, so Jupiter is direct right now. Uranus also recently went direct. Mars is still in retrograde, but I am feeling sort of like a significant like pivoting point for you, Capricorn. Chiron, heal. Interesting. Okay. I'm also getting a Leo energy as well. There's a lot of fire in your reading today, Capricorn. So you may want to watch the Sagittarius and Leo readings from this past week. But the Chiron heal energy, and you have Jupiter abundance at the bottom of the deck. So Chiron is this energy of the wounded warrior, of course. You may want to take a look at what planet or what sign Chiron is in for you. Though he could not completely heal his own pain, he learned so much about medicine that he started a healing temple. This asteroid points to where your own painful experiences gives you training and how you can use that understanding to help others. Yeah. Find purpose in your problems. Hard-earned wisdom is now relevant and needed. You don't have to assign causality. You may never know why you went through a difficult time, but you can put what you've learned from it to good use. Even if you never quite heal in this place of karmic tenderness, you have the wisdom to pass on once you metabolize the information. The situation may feel familiar, but if you can't remember a story to go with, it may be left over from a past life, a chapter review of what your soul already knows. If an old pain is triggered, have compassion for yourself. You are more than your troubles. Okay. The challenge here is the situation can set off touchy memories or poke you where it still hurts. Shrapnel can hurt as much coming out as it does going in. Take this opportunity to heal so those old places can transform. The gift of this card is allow the pain and troubles of the past to become the wisdom and compassion of the present moment. Okay, yeah. This is that energy of the underworld and the gem, right? Like it's kind of coming through like there's a situation around you, Capricorn, that is feeling like it's perhaps triggering old wounds, or that there's like shadow energies or like things that hurt, areas of karmic tenderness. That's a really on point phrase, karmic tenderness. It's it feels tender. However, there is a gem for you to gain from this. And so perhaps you're on sort of a healing journey at the moment, Capricorn. I feel like maybe there's something about wisdom, like feminine wisdom is how it's coming through, that is part of this Chiron energy for you, like something to do with nurturing yourself and others. Because now I'm getting very strong like Queen of Pentacles vibes, which is of course Capricorn. So maybe there's some sort of karmic tenderness around there about like nurturing yourself and others, or how you receive nurturing from others. I feel like whatever the situation is, though, Capricorn, it is something where it's like, I feel like maybe there's a situation in which you may be feeling hesitation about, or that there's like, I don't know, like, it's the underworld, right? It's not a place that you would want to go, but I feel like there is something there where it's like, it may even be awakening some sort of gift within you that you're not aware of yet, right? Because it's like Chiron became a healer in order to heal the wound that he carried. So that information then became something that he shared with others, and it became a gift for others. So it's kind of feeling like that. Okay. You may be discovering a gift that you have for healing or something like that, Capricorn. Okay, let's pull some cards. Okay, that's way too many cards. These cards are a bit sticky, so it does take a while for them to come out, but we're going to be patient, Capricorn. Okay. Yeah, they come out in pairs, usually. Okay, so you have visioning, the right orbital socket, and pulse, the wrists, which is very interesting. Okay, I have to get the guidebook for this. Visioning, the right orbital socket. Allow yourself to be guided by what others cannot see. Okay, so there's something here about your inner world. You are the only one who can see what you see in the way you see it. However, this inner world can be devoid of context, and context is meaningful because it's how you fit into your world and your boxes, but you're meant to be informed by context, not constrained by it. It is, after all, merely the circumstances that form the setting for an event, statement, or idea, and the meaning you assign it. If you're not mindful, you can create an entire life within this box. Mindfully shift the context of your life so your vision can overflow and you can move graciously in alignment with it. Interesting, because it's like the word context, of course, is very significant there. And you have like these whales and feathers that are sort of flowing out of the eye, because context is important. That's how I'm getting a very strong energy of the underworld for you. And whatever that is, there's some sort of like your context, where you are located and why that's important. But I feel like there's something here of the gem for you, Capricorn, where you're gaining the gem, the diamond in the rough, or something like that. I feel like maybe you're, there's something about perhaps like your physical circumstances that are very relevant to some sort of vision that you have. You can't separate out like, okay. Because I'm kind of get like with the gem versus the underworld. It's kind of like if you had a gem in a field of gems, they wouldn't be special anymore. If that makes sense. Like it wouldn't be special. Because everything's the same. So there's kind of something there about like contrast and context, like you being different from your context is what makes it special or something like that. I don't know if we're talking about you or like a particular thing. I don't know. So it's almost like if you were to remove the gem from the underworld, it may not be a gem anymore. That's how it's coming through. Very interesting. I don't know what this relates to. Okay. But I'm going to read Pulse. Your unique timing is a synthesis of where your energetic pulse meets the energy and the pulse of the universe. Frequency is flowing to you and from you at all times through the pathways of the hands and arms. You're giving and receiving, ideally in equal sustainable measure. Likewise, the universe is giving to and receiving from you. When you do not trust the pulse of your life to communicate with the world around you, it will disconnect from the pulse of the universe, finding cues in the three-dimensional world, synthetic replacements for something truer and deeper. Trust the pulse of your life. When you do, it will sync with a rhythm that is deeply resonant throughout your body and the energies you connect to. You will feel in harmony with opportunities brought to you, and what you need for your next step will always be waiting for you. This is synchronicity. Okay, there's a lot of energy here about timing of the universe. Timing of the universe. I feel like, Capricorn, you're feeling a bit disconnected from something at the moment. You have attunement fingers at the bottom of the deck, which is interesting because you have the fingers here and the wrist is sort of looking like this, like the bones are disconnected, which is very interesting. So you are always connected, Capricorn, to the universe, but maybe you feel like you aren't, because it kind of feels like there's something about your context that feels like you don't belong there, or that you're detached from something. There's something about like the physical environment that I feel like doesn't feel like it's in alignment with you. But it is, though, because otherwise you wouldn't be there. I feel like there's something of a detachment. Okay, where's a potential for breakthrough here? Yeah. You have stability, the lumbar spine, and sovereignty, the coccyx. So yesterday's reading, Leo reading, another Leo reading, Leo energy coming through again for you, which talked about sovereignty, like the true essence of who you are. It's the base and the foundation, and stability with the lumbar spine is another one of those like it's feeling very root chakra energy today, like being very stable and solid where you are. Okay. Stability is not meant to be unmovable. It is not a tree that breaks in the wind because it is so rigid, but a tree that sways and returns upright. Your stability is the strength to stand or endure. When disturbed from your energetic sense of equilibrium, you have the capability to restore yourself. Your need to create or reevaluate your energetic stability comes when something shifts above or below it in the spine. Deconditioning work and coming further into belonging with yourself and your lineage will necessitate a deeper, more grounded sense of energetic stability. Growing your capacity or finding more flexibility will rely on it. Your stability will be tested, and your strength lies in standing true and restoring your alignment. Okay, what feels stable in your life right now? What feels unstable in your life right now? What are my patterns or protective mechanisms when something feels unstable? Does my sense of stability depend more on flexibility or stubbornness? Where is the balance between those for me? Okay, I feel like there's something, Capricorn, that is testing your strength and flexibility at the moment, right? And it's what it's saying in this description here is like, your strength doesn't mean being unmovable or like being really rigid or sticking stubbornly to a particular pattern or thing like that. It's actually wanting you to move, because I feel like it's like there's something about I don't know, perhaps like a changing wind or something like that, where like something is perhaps becoming a bit unstable, or there's some area in your life that feels a bit unstable. There's some sort of change coming through, like a wind that's sort of causing your energy to sway or something like that. So perhaps there is some sort of change or movement that's necessary. You have supporting left foot at the bottom of the deck. And again, I do feel like there's something here where with the Chiron energy, whatever it is that this like thing is that sort of challenging your sense of stability, it's there. So that might be sort of like an area of tenderness for you that's wanting to go through healing, whatever that is for you. Could be everyone has their own sort of like triggers and wounds, right? But I feel like whatever this this changes in the wind is, I feel like on some level, like touching on an area in your life that feels very tender, because I'm seeing this like tree energy around the lumbar spine. It's something protective. So you may be feeling like vulnerable in this area of your life. I have a feeling though, Capricorn, it is a very positive thing, but there may be, because, okay, it feels like it's a positive thing, but because it's touching on an area of your life that feels very tender or vulnerable, it feels scarier than it might be, or it's like there's a vulnerability perhaps, or is, I don't want to say it's knocking you off balance, because that feels very strong, Capricorn. It feels like it's gently pushing on your sense of stability. That's how I will phrase it. So I feel like there's something very stable in your life that maybe is going through change. That's just how it's coming through. Okay. Mystical Sister, which I love. I love this card. This is a card about a sacred ally, someone who sees you and accepts you and loves you and supports you through whatever this is. There's a lot of unconditional love and support in this dynamic with the Mystical Sister. So I feel like there is someone like that in your life, and it doesn't have to be a feminine energy. They could be a man, right? Like it doesn't have to be restricted to gender or age or whatever. It's just coming through as being like someone who like really just loves and supports you. And there's a lot of trust within this dynamic. So there is someone here who is here to support you, Capricorn, in whatever this is, because you're going through some sort of change that's of something that's been very, very stable in your life. I would watch the Leo reading from yesterday. Okay. 10. Which is interesting because you have Jupiter. You have Jupiter at the bottom of the deck. And 10 is a card that represents the element of Jupiter. But it is one where it's like, it talks about sort of like this frustration about some sort of expansion that you want to have, but you don't have enough resources for that expansion. So it's kind of like you have to go back to the drawing board. You have to like, there's more development or work that needs to be put in order to gain enough resources, perhaps, in order to go through with the expansion that you imagine. The structure is composed of crystals in cubic or tetragonal formations that can be broken or crushed under moderate pressure. When the crystalline structure breaks, a sound known as the tin cry can be heard, hence the unnerving sound of crinkling tinfoil. Such is the energy of the tin card. On one hand, it is tin's Jupiterian nature to expand, to mobilize, to cover the whole territory. On the other hand, the metal cannot withstand much weight or pressure. When this card appears, you may have reached a limit or breaking point after taking on more than is logistically possible under the circumstances. Don't take this juncture personally. More strength is required before taking next steps to support the expansion you see in your mind's eye. Yeah. More strength is required, which is very interesting because I feel like maybe there's something in your life. Because, okay, I feel like there's something that's been very stable in your life, Capricorn, but it's under pressure at the moment. So there may be this sort of feeling of like something in your life that's been very stable is sort of, there's pressure being put on it. So I feel like there's, with this tin energy and Jupiter, maybe there's been some sort of expansion that is like, some sort of expansion that you envision or imagine, but it's not yet possible because it would be too big of a load to take on right away. So it's like more strength needs to be gathered, right? Like imagine if you're a weightlifter, you can't start at the heaviest weight, right? You have to start off small. I feel like that's what this energy is coming through with. You may be going through an experience right now where it's like you are going through an expansion, but this expansion requires you to build more strength because right now, if you were to put too much, like more pressure than you can handle, it'll just fall apart, right? And we don't want that. So I feel like there's something here where it's like, there's like a gentle wind that's trying to get you to move in a particular direction, but it's like something of like, I feel like it's a bit of a tenderness area. There's an area of tenderness there. So it's like maybe you are trying to build up more strength in an area of tender, especially if it's like something where, like, I've used this example in the past where if there's a wound, right? Like, so let's say you broke your arm and it was in a cast. Once you remove your cast, the area is tender. You don't want to like start doing all these like big movements and going back to exactly where you were before. It's kind of coming through as being like starting off slowly. There's something like that for you. But I feel like whatever that is, I feel like there's a step that you're needing to take, but it feels like it would be disconnecting you from something that's very stable in your life. And that might be the fear or the resistance. Because it's kind of, I'm kind of getting something like moving to a different town or something like that kind of energy. That feels quite, it feels like quite intense, but it kind of feels like something where it's like, let's say you want to move to a different city or something, but maybe you're not quite ready for that big of a change or a distance. So it's maybe it's like part of the tin energy is like making a single trip, going to visit that town or that city, or like making the journey multiple times. Because I feel like doing it all at once would be really overwhelming or put a lot of pressure, or like it could potentially be too much change at once. And so what this is saying is that I feel like maybe like gradual steps, or like, let's say if you are you want to move to a different town or city or whatever, it's like maybe making like, let's go visit there for a few days and then come back home and then go back and forth. Like it's kind of coming through like that. Because I feel like if this change happens too quickly, it might be Jupiter. I love when that happens. Definitely. Okay. Jupiter's in Gemini right now, so you may want to watch the last Gemini reading as well. So there is an expansion for you, Capricorn, but it's like it has to happen gradually. It feels like you have to build up to it. You have the golden rose at the bottom of the deck. That's good. It's good news, though. You have Jupiter twice. It's really abundant. Expansion, possibility, and fortune. Jupiter is often a welcome sight, emerging from the darkness, shimmering with possibilities. It's the planet of growth, expansion, success, and elevation. When this card appears, the future is full and bright, perhaps even dazzling. Everyone wants to be around a Jupiterian energy and to claim a little for themselves, so there's likely a magnetic feeling at play. The work is to keep Jupiter's bigness in balance during the wave of expansion that's taking place. Its shadow is most easily seen in celebrity culture, excess consumption, and messaging of never enough. You may begin comparing yourself with others or assessing your value. Don't double judge yourself for this. Jupiter happens. Instead, realign with the benevolent message in your heart, what truly needs expanding. It's likely not your followers or your bank account. And there's that Sagittarius energy again, right? Because Sagittarius rules over Jupiter. Right now it's in Gemini, which is so interesting. At the bottom of the deck, you have Jupiter in Gemini. The Gemini energy in Jupiter, I feel like is one that's a bit challenging, because Gemini can be sort of like this energy of like, in this card it talks about like cross-pollination, right? Like visiting a whole bunch of flowers. It's kind of one where it's like very social, but I feel like Jupiter energy wants to be a bit more immersive and focused. So I don't know, there may be sort of this energy of like you have to gather enough resources before this expansion can happen in whatever area of your life this is. And it could have something to do with Gemini energy, like building connections or something like that. Or with the B, it's also coming in with like work or resources or collaboration. Communication is also there as well. Okay, no, we're not going to use that deck. Yeah. There is a significant expansion for you, Gemini, and I feel like the expansion is wants to be in an area of your life where there's tenderness, or there's past wounding that needs to be healed or something like that. So just being kind to yourself and compassionate to yourself. Yeah, the Singer of Intuition. I feel like your intuition is telling you, or it's like you're getting information about your next step, but perhaps there's a little bit of no, it's resistance. It's resistance to this next step. Resistance to a certain area of expansion in your life. It is what you need, Capricorn. It's what you need. Yeah, he of the fiery sword. This card talks about willpower, being able to do difficult things, being able to do what's necessary, because I do feel like there's something here where it's like you have to do something in terms of taking the next step towards expansion. But that step towards expansion feels like it's causing a bit of disruption in something that's been very stable for you. Okay. You have emotional, the emotional card, and then Water, River, Star. This is another card about expansion and abundance. And there's something emotional about, again, the emotions. The emotions are really coming through as significant for you, because I feel like there's something about this area of your life that's wanting to go through an expansion that's very emotional for you. There are emotions tied to it. Wounding, perhaps. Okay, but I'm going to read this this Water, River, Star card. Abundance isn't a destination or a BMW or even a bunch of commas in your bank balance. That's the second card that's saying it's not about money or physical, material things. But anyways, abundance is a current of energy that you claim by knowing you are it and that you are worthy of receiving all that you already are. You, my dear, are standing upon the threshold of great love and blessings. You have worked hard and endured so much to have finally arrived at the spiritual doorway. In order to pass through it, you must know the truth of this current. You must know in your heart and in your soul and in your bones that abundance is the very fabric of this dimensional plane, and that it is not possible for it to ever run dry. Only when you know and embody this fundamental universal truth can you then walk through this doorway of bounty and sustenance and receive what is rightfully yours. Okay, Capricorn. I do feel that there is some sort of positive change coming for you with this Jupiter energy. Something in your life wants to expand, but it's coming from a place where there's tenderness or hurt or pains from the past that are wanting to be healed. But whatever this process is, you're gaining strength through it. But some area in your life that's very stable may be going through change or transformation or shift in some way. So I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.